This is the man who changed his heart faster than anyone I've ever seen. A few days ago his wife left him under her mother-in-law's pressure to save their daughter who had a heart problem. She slipped away quietly without telling her husband, but soon after he married a wealthy and powerful woman from a rich family. The two of them holding her child looked just like a happy family of 3. When she saw her daughter finally survive, Yali decided to leave silently. Time passed quickly and 5 years went by. Yali returned to Seoul again because she missed her daughter too much. Longing for her daughter, she went to her former-in-law's house just to take a glimpse from afar. After all, she had promised her mother-in-law that she would disappear forever. Just then she suddenly saw Do-eun faint and collapse on the ground. Yali ran toward her as fast as she could. She rushed her to the hospital for emergency care. Meanwhile, the family was terrified when they found the child missing. Even though Do-eun wasn't Jung Soo-hyun's biological daughter, she was still a very devoted stepmother. Now that her daughter was missing, she was beside herself with worry, until she received Yali's call. Only then could she finally breathe again. At the hospital, the child looked at Yali and murmured the word mom. After taking a closer look, she realized she had mistaken her for someone else. That was the first time mother and daughter had a chance to sit and talk, even though Do-eun didn't know who her real mother was. For Yali, this moment was precious beyond words. By the time Jung and his wife arrived, Yali had already left the hospital. Jung Soo-hyun was deeply grateful to the woman who had saved her daughter, but she felt disappointed she couldn't thank her in person. Yali decided to stay in Seoul and work just to be closer to her daughter. Unexpectedly, she ran into her ex-husband. Seeing the wife who had disappeared suddenly appear again in Seoul, Jung couldn't believe it and chased after her. He wanted to know why she had abandoned him and their daughter back then. Did she really fall in love with another man? Yali thought that was all in the past and didn't want to bring it up again. She just hoped Jung could let her go. At that moment, his current wife happened to pass by with her sister. That gave Yali the chance to get away. The next day, unwilling to give up, Jung found out where his ex-wife worked. He learned she had just quit her job. From then on, he began searching for her everywhere. Eventually, he found out where she was living. He confronted her, asking if she had really fallen for another man. Yali had promised her mother-in-law to keep everything secret, so she forced herself to say she had left because she was tired of living poorly. She feared her mother-in-law would play tricks again if she knew Yali was back. Jung, however, couldn't let go of their past. He held her tightly, refusing to release her. Just then, Yali's boyfriend saw the scene. Furious, he went up and punched the man. Back then, Jung hadn't been able to give his wife and daughter a good life. Now that 5 years had passed, there was no need to reopen old wounds. He hugged Jung Soo-hyun, repeatedly apologizing. He knew how much pain his actions had caused. Miho, seeing his girlfriend couldn't forget her ex, was furious. He couldn't believe that after 5 years he still couldn't win her heart. He begged Yali to leave Seoul with him, but Yali couldn't bear to leave her daughter behind. She went to the hospital again to see her child, only to learn that she had already been discharged. Yali could only walk away in disappointment. Just as she reached the door, Do-eun recognized her instantly. Through the child's introduction, Jung Soo-hyun learned Yali was her daughter's lifesaver. Excited, she held Yali's hand and expressed her heartfelt thanks. She sincerely invited her to come to their house as a guest. Do-eun also begged Yali to attend her homecoming party. Knowing her mother-in-law wasn't home that day, Yali finally agreed to go alone. When she cautiously stepped into the house, Jung froze in shock. After Jung Soo-hyun's polite introduction, they both pretended it was their first time meeting. When his wife went upstairs with their daughter, Jung pulled Yali aside and told her to leave immediately. He feared she had ulterior motives for approaching the family, but Yali still stayed for dinner with them. When it was time to go, Jung Soo-hyun asked her husband to drive their guest home. Yali couldn't refuse and simply went along with it. On their way back, they passed by her mother-in-law's car, and the old woman instantly recognized Yali's face.